What's up, guys and gals? Your host with the most, Griever, as always, bringing you guys Ayakashi Triangle, Chapter 72. It's just a fluff chapter. Like, there's not really a whole lot to talk about. If you like the Ichi element of it, if you like this isn't our beach episode, but it's our girls in the swimming pool in the school uniform swimsuit episode, I guess. That's what we're going for here. And some lesbian makeout sessions ensue. That's basically what happens. Though, I will say one thing I definitely fully enjoyed was Lou. Lou using Hiten Mitsurugi style. I love it. In the water, using Hiten Mitsurugi style and all the correct attacks too. Kuzuriya-sen and all that stuff. And I was like, alright. I like the reference. I like what we're going with. I was like, alright, this is pretty cool, right? There is definitely a couple of small things to talk about. The chapter was fine, as I said, but it was mostly just a fluff chapter. It was mostly okay, can they really trust Shadow Mai? What's Shadow Mai's goal? And they sort of figure it out almost right off the bat. Not so much Matsuri and Suzu, but Shirogane and Matsuri's mother both watching, of course, because Matsuri's mother is the coach, the swimming coach or the gym coach. So she's keeping a close eye on everything as well in her disguise. And Suzu's whole goal here is if they can make, as we talked about last chapter, if they can make Shadow Mai not resent humanity anymore, if she doesn't want to end the world of humans, if they can like fix the resentment that grew up inside of her and turned her into what she is now and turned her into the Jinyo that she currently is, then finally she can merge with Suzu and everything will be fine, and then she'll have enough strength to turn Matsuri back into a guy. And then her whole goal is she's thinking below the waist. She's thinking we can finally go out, right? So that's what she's thinking with. Well, I mean, you can be more wholesome about it, and it's like, oh, thinking with the heart, and it's like, no, this is an Ichi manga. It's all about what's below the waist with all these characters. So either way, they decided to try to work together with this idea and stuff. And Matsuri at first is suspicious of it, and he should be, because this is Shadow Mai's goal, is to try to break up their bond. As I said, it's already been slowly figured out. Now, one of the things that I did find interesting also was that Shadow Mai's idea of just recreational swimming, because she's thinking about it, this water is completely different from that water. And Matsuri's like, what do you mean? And it was so cold enough to break my spirit, when she was, of course, very classic witch hunt, right? She was thrown into the bottom of a river with like weights on her, rocks or whatever sort of idea, right? And she drowned, right? So, of course, she would be more, I'm surprised she's not fearful of water, in fact. I'm surprised she's not hesitant to go into the water. But instead we just have her reminiscing that this water feels much different than that water sort of idea, right? And this is where, for random reasons, I guess, to try to break up the bond or something like that, it's, alright, so Shadow Mai decides to kiss Matsuri and say, sorry Matsuri, you were so cool I couldn't help it. Now all the girls are all like, kawaii! And all that stuff about in this chapter. And then it's like, well, how is Suzu going to respond to this declaration of dependence and attack and stuff? And she goes in for the French kissing. And even Shadow Mai's a little embarrassed. Like, pretty impressive. With tongue, you can do that? And of course, remember, she is from an era where I think not necessarily, as many rock stars, many people have said in the past, every generation thinks that they invented sex. Every single generation thinks that they are the ones to figure it out, and it's just not the case. However, I would argue that I think some things have become more commonplace and a few things have evolved due to, generational changes, cultural barriers, etc., the tabooness of it all. And I think that we have a broader scope of things. Not to say anybody invented them, but we have a broader scope of things we can get our funk on with. So in this case, right here, we're sort of having that idea that Shadow Mai is like, oh wow, like you can do that, I didn't know. And of course she would have been sheltered. She was from an era now past sort of idea. So it makes sense and stuff. And everyone's just cheering this on, like, oh, now we got a love triangle. What's going down? Blah, blah, blah. And even Matsuri's mother's sitting there. So this is the great battle between the two Ayakashi mediums. It's literally a makeout contest. A lesbian makeout contest. That is the battle. Granted, I mean, I think, who was it? Next Talk, who said that presidential debate should be decided with Yu-Gi-Oh! Duels, and that seems about as good as a marker here as any. Screw it. The battle of the Ayakashi mediums goes down to who can French a girl better. So who do you bet your money on, ladies and gentlemen? Who do you bet your money on? That's my only question. But yeah, I think I've stretched that out as far as I can stretch that out. Honestly, there's not really a whole lot to talk about. They have a little bit of fun. Susan's trying to convince Lou and Yayo to let's all try to be friends with Shadow Man. Let's try to, once again, the whole goal is to stop her resentment as a Jinyo and stop her resentment of humans and hopefully make her feel something like compassion or whatever towards humanity and fix the darkness, the evil, what have you, right? So, anyways, it was a chapter. It's here. Don't know what 73 is going to do. Are we going to have then the classroom segment? Are we going to have the track and field segment? What's going to happen? I have no idea. The after school special. Is she going to sneak into Matsuri's bed? I can see that one coming a mile away. But we'll have to wait and see about that one. Hope you guys enjoyed the video and the review. Like, comment, and subscribe. Fourth and most importantly, don't forget to drink responsibly as always. Happy Christmas to everyone who celebrates it. And we will see you guys back here next time for Chapter 73 of Ayakashi Triangle. Looking forward to it. See you next time.